everyone, I'm here to talk to you today about color. Yes, alternative hair color. Today I'm wearing the Zara wig by Jon Renau in Palm Springs Blonde. This is the Jon Renau Blake wig, also in Palm Springs Blonde. But the color looks really different, doesn't it? You betcha it does. The reason for this is that human hair has a lot of warm tones. So when you take out the natural color and then you're depositing the color you want it to be on top of that, you're going to get more warm tones. So you'll see kind of a yellowy or brassy tone to some of the hair on your blonde wigs or blonde alternative hair. Whereas depositing color on a synthetic fiber will take on a more true color because it's like putting paint on a white canvas. So if you would like this color to actually be this color, I'll show you how to do it, or at least try to get it as close as possible. How do we do that? We use Jon Renau's In-Tone Violet Shampoo. Now, violet shampoo is very powerful stuff. Use with caution. The reason I say this is that it's very concentrated, so you can apply it of one of two ways. First of all, before you do anything, you want to make sure that your human hair has been washed and properly conditioned. While it is still wet, you want to take your In-Tone shampoo and then you'll put maybe, I don't know, like a Susan B. dollar size or bigger than a quarter size amount into your hand. You'll rub your hands together very thoroughly, make sure you get between your fingers, and then you'll run it through the hair. I learned the hard way that you'll get some stuck between your fingers and more will be deposited in some areas than others. And those areas that get a little bit more coverage with the shampoo will tend to be a lot lighter than the other areas. And if you're like me and you leave it on a little too long, you'll have purple areas in your wig and it's really hard to come out. It takes a very long time and quite a few washings. I found a great way to use the In-Tone shampoo is to use a water bottle filled with warm water and put some In-Tone Violet shampoo in the bottle and shake it up until it's nice and foamy. And then what you want to do is while the hair is clean and wet, you'll want to spray evenly until you saturate the hair. And you can let this sit on the hair anywhere between a minute to, I think the last time I did it was 5 minutes, and it got pretty light. So if you're trying to achieve this color, you want to leave it on for quite a bit. I'm going to try 7 minutes and see how that works. And hopefully we can achieve a color similar to the synthetic. But still the synthetic is quite a bit more ashy and platinum compared to the more blonde kind of warm tone that you see here. So we're going back and washing it with In-Tone directly on the hair this time instead of using a spray bottle. See you in a little bit. are back, and it took about 9 minutes on top of the processing that we did before with Intone through the spray bottle, which was about 7 minutes, I believe. Then we went upstairs and we put the shampoo directly on the hair, and I ran over it a little bit with some water just to kind of dilute the concentration, just so I wouldn't hit some spots and it'd be more concentrated than others. And I rinsed it out after 9 minutes and used some Jon Renau Argan Smooth conditioner. And yeah, I mean, even just wet, you can see there's a big difference now. So the verdict is if you want it to be really, really, really ashy and bright, then you'll probably want to put the Intone on directly. Just make sure that you run a little bit of water over it, because even though I did that, you can kind of still see some gray or violet tones in here now, but that's kind of the look we're going for. As you can see with this, we're getting pretty close. And again, this is still wet, so it will dry a bit brighter too. I'm going to use some blow dry balm just to get it ready, because I will be blow drying her. So a little bit like that, rub it in over the whole wig. For the record, I'm really terrible at blow drying and using a brush at the same time. Now what we're going to do is just get her dry enough to get most of the moisture out. And then while it's almost dry, I'll get out my flat iron and flat iron her, or I can get out my barrel iron and give her a curl at that time. Since this is taking way too long, I'm gonna cheat and just do one section and then I'll do the rest later, because this is really boring, I'm sure. Whoa, frizzy. So this is what we ended up with after about 9 minutes with the Intone directly on the hair. I just diluted it a little bit with some water so that it was nice and foamy and that there weren't too many concentrated spots on one place. Again, that will make your hair turn purple if you leave it on too long. So here is a better look at the color after the second Intone treatment and a comparison against the two. So I will go ahead and get her styled. Ignore the terrible job I did on blow drying her. Nothing that a flat iron can't fix. Okay, so the Blake has been blow dried and also flat ironed over the last 2 hours. Oh, I had to take my other wig off because I couldn't anymore. Anyhow, so as you can see, it looks quite a bit different once you straighten her out. And if you put curls or waves in the wig, you'll notice that the color seems to be maybe a little bit brighter, or it looks a little different. The light will catch a lot of the color and the highlights and lowlights a bit differently than if it were straight. So it might even look like a different color if you curl it. So here's the final product. All right, so I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much for watching.